Hey guys, so I want to show you an AI tool that pretty much every business, whether you're a solopreneur or have 5,000 or 50,000 employees, absolutely needs. One of the biggest problems when you're using AI in business is that you need to use it in a way that's safe and secure. And if anyone in the company is using consumer grade AI products, just like the consumer ChatGPT or Gemini or Claude or any of the others, you are likely exposing your sensitive company data in ways that you shouldn't be. So this is Infinite Chat. This is a secure chat interface that has access to all of the different AI models that you can configure. And you can use them directly to the APIs where these companies give you additional security guarantees around the APIs. They never train their AI models on the data that you send to the APIs. And also, these APIs are incredibly cheap to use. So, interestingly, this is a much more affordable way to give AI tools to your entire company. I'm going to come back to this a little bit and show you how these are configured. But basically, what this is a chat interface that you can ask questions, just like you would with any other chat interface. But there's a little bit more to this that makes it special. Here we have the ability to actually integrate source code and the company's documentation into the whole platform. So I wanted to show you an example here. This is a software platform. It's a Java library, fairly complex. And we have developed a deep code agent, which is specifically designed to analyze problems. Okay, so I'm going to come over here, and this is a user that asked a question about this that was not answered. So we're going to come here. Okay, so we're going to put the question in here, and we're going to hit go. So what this is going to be doing now is it is going to be searching through all of the source code of this library, and it's going to be analyzing that against the questions. And you can see it did this incredibly fast, and it's giving us an incredibly detailed report. This is something that would take a software developer, even if they understood this software library fairly well, this is something that could still take the software developer 30 to 40 minutes, maybe, to put all of this together and give an answer with this amount of detail. Now, this isn't just for asking questions about source code. You can upload any kind of company documents. This could be financial documents, this could be contracts, client agreements, documentation that you have about processes and products. It could be hundreds of thousands, millions of documents. And then the AI agents within this can use those documents or specific sets of documents to answer questions and help your workforce be much, much more efficient. So I'm just going to pop back here and show you how we integrate documents. So you can see, first of all, there's a tremendous number of connectors that are here. So we can easily add any documents if you have them in Confluence, SharePoint, Google Drive, Jira, Zendesk. All of these different integrations exist. And when you add one of these integrations, the Infinite Chat system will pull the documents in and index them into a very scalable vector database that can then be searched by the AI. From there, we can then create document sets where we can create groups of documents so that we can group them together. So we can have combinations of various different connectors that go into feeding different document sets. And here we can define our custom agents. This is where we can give our system prompt to the agent. We can configure the knowledge that it has access, the tools it has access to, and what the default AI models are. We can also make these agents private within the organization and basically determine exactly who has access to what agents. So you can add documents into the system that only certain people have access to keep them secure. We can then integrate in and develop our own custom actions. Here you can see our deep code tool, but we can add in other MCP servers or APIs to create full agentic workflows and full AI agent tools. Here's where we configure the different LLM providers. So you can see I've got a few of them configured here, but basically we can set up OpenAI. We can also use the privately hosted open source models, which is huge. And there's even an ability to add custom providers. So we've got full flexibility. And there's a bunch of other settings here that I'm not going to cover now, but the biggest factor or why this is important, because this tool is completely vendor agnostic. what's happening right now in the AI industry is every company is constantly releasing a better model. One day, OpenAI has a better model. One day, Google has a better model. One day, Anthropic has a better model. We're also finding that the different models focus on different use cases. So, for example, Claude Opus 4.5 is currently one of the best ones for writing code, and where Grok might be one of the best ones for doing some writing or writing analysis. So you can give the different AI models to your employees for different use cases. Some models are also way more expensive. So Claude 4.5 is by far the most expensive to use, where something like Grok is the cheapest. So for certain use cases, you can use the very low cost models. And what that brings me back to here is essentially without infinite chat, if you want to give access to these models, you get individual seats. So you pay $30 a month per employee for ChatGTP. You pay 20 or $30 a month for Grok. You pay 20 or $30 a month for Google Gemini. You pay 20 or $30 a month for Anthropic. So that would all add up to around $100 a month. And even if you just had one, just the $30 a month, if you have 100 employees, that's $3,000 a month. And with Infinite Chat, you don't pay per seat. So you have an unlimited number of users in here. You pay for the API usage, which can be incredibly low. So overall, you can give your employees access to all the AI models that you want. You can have as many people on the system as you want. You can put in as many documents as you want. And you have a fully agnostic system. So if in the future, OpenAI comes out with the best model, you can just instantly switch to that. If then Google comes out with a better model and you want to start using that for some reason, you can just switch to that. There's no switching platform. There's no, changing vendors. There's no rollout within the organization. So there's a lot more to this, but I just wanted to give you this quick overview. Would love it if you have any questions.